Welcome to Study Loop.
Question 15. I'm looking at a general QC of T, C1 e to the negative 10t, cosine 20t plus C2 e to the negative 10t sine of 20t equals 12 sine 10t. So my equation I have from the previous problem is q double prime plus 20 q prime plus 500. Q is going to equal 12 sine 10t. So I'm going to try QP. P equals A cosine 10t plus B sine 10t, and then my Q prime would equal negative 10a sine 10t plus 10b cosine 10t, that's the chain rule, and then my Q double prime would equal negative 100a cosine 10t minus 100, chain rule again, so I take the 10t times the 10. B, derivative of cosine is sine, negative sine 10t, plugging into my purple equation. So wherever I say Q double prime, I'm going to put in negative 100a cosine 10t minus 100b sine 10t plus 20 times Q prime, which is negative 10a sine 10t plus 10b cosine of 10t. And then I'm going to add in my 500 times Q, which is A cosine 10t plus B sine 10t. And that, of course, equals 12 sine 10t. So distributing, I'm going to distribute and combine. So when I distribute and combine, I'm going to have negative 100 b sine 10t minus 200 a sine 10t plus 500 sine of 10t equals the 12 sine of 10t. So I just pulled out all my sines, and now I'm going to put my cosines together. So my cosines would be negative 100a cosine 10t plus 200b cosine 10t plus 500a cosine 10t. And since we don't have any cosines to set it equal to, it would be equal to 0. So that gives me negative 200a plus 400b equals 12, and 200b and 400a equals 0. So I am going to multiply my top row by 2. So that would give me negative 400a plus 800b equals 24. My a's cancel, and I'm just left with 1000b equals 24. Therefore, b equals 24 over 1,000, which reduces to 3 over 125. When I plug that back in, I get a to equal negative 3 over 250. So now what I have is, let me put this in red so far, qt equals c1 e to the negative 10t cosine 20t plus c2 e to the negative 10t sine 20t minus 3 over 250 cosine 10t plus 3 over 125 sine of 10t equals 12 sine of 10t. So the things I know, q of 0 equals 0. So when I substitute that in, I get 0 equals cosine of 0 is 1, so I have c1, sine is 0, so I have minus 3 over 250, and then everything else zeroes out. So I have C1 equals 3 over 250. So now I have to take the derivative because I know that Q prime of 0 equals 0. So my derivative, Q prime equals negative 10 C1 E negative 10t cosine 20t minus 20 C1 e to the negative 10t sine 20t minus 10 t c. No, there's no t there. I don't know why I wrote that. 10 C2 e to the negative 10t sine 20t minus plus 20 C2 e to the negative 10t cosine 20t and I have to keep going here, plus 60 over 250 sine 10t plus 30 over 125 chain rule cosine 10t equals 0. So now using Q prime of 0 equals 0, when I plug that in, I get 0 equals 10 times C1 plus 20 times C2 plus 30 over 125. Therefore, when I plug in 3 over 250 in for my C1, I get negative 6 over 25 equals negative 30 over 250 plus 20 C2. Therefore, C2 equals negative 3 over 500. Which takes me to the final answer of 3 over 250. I see 1. E negative 10t cosine 20t minus 3 over 500, which is my C2, e to the negative 10t sine 20t minus 3 over 250 cosine 10t plus 3 over 125 sine